Okay, it's been a while since I did a response video, but this is a response video, and this is a response video to Michael J. Crawford, and the J is very important. Without the J, you may confuse him with this guy, and I'll start doing jokes about ooh Betty the cat's done a whoopsie, etc. Michael J. Crawford and his channel RationalRoundTable. Now this channel's got a lot going for it, not only the opening credits, which are far superior to my own.
Hi, this is Michael J. Crawford, and this is the Rational Roundtable.
I think that's pretty much like comparing Pixar animation to the Thunderbirds, isn't it, really, comparing his credits to mine. But it isn't just the credits nor the rotundity and rationality of his table that's the good thing about Michael's channel. The great thing about Michael's channel is Michael, because he is a proper pucker-dink, sophisticated Christian who has a great deal to say, who makes some fantastic arguments, and I would recommend his channel to everybody, regardless of what you think. Now, this is perhaps a disappointment to Michael, because his video was a response to Helgigh's video, and I'm not Helgihg, but I'm still going to make a response to his video, because I've got some points to make on some of the points that he brought up, and an additional point to make. Now, Helgigh's video was dealing with ways in which he said that you could disprove the Christian faith, and this is what Michael was responding to. So the first thing I want to do is to play you two clips of Michael that I don't think square with one another. So let's play the first clip.
The idea that doubt is a sin is put forth by some fundamentalists in order to try and maintain an absolutist control over the way that some people think. However, the truth is that doubt is a normal part of the human condition, and without doubt there would be no such thing as faith, and faith is the cornerstone of Christianity, and so in a sense so is doubt. Okay,
now the reason I play this clip, Michael, is because I see an inconsistency in your position here between the clip I've just played now and the clip I'm going to play in a second. So let's be clear here. What you are saying is that doubt is fundamental to faith. If you don't have doubt, then you can't have faith. It wouldn't be faith anymore, would it? It wouldn't be faith unless there was some grounds for doubt. I understand that position. That's a position that many Christians over the years have made clear to me. Let's see what you then go on to say later on in the same video.
Number one, I think that when I say you answered it yourself, well, it's true. Nobody has the level of faith that Christ was talking about in that passage. His idea was that, hey, you know what, if you truly believed, if you had no doubt, and we get back to doubt. If you had no doubt whatsoever, you could make this tree move. However, everyone has doubt. Everyone does not have pure, total, absolute faith, and therefore no one can make that tree move.
So this seems like a real inconsistency here. You seem to be saying that you cannot have faith without doubt, and then on this second clip, you seem to be saying that the highest level of faith that you can attain is when there is zero doubt. Well, you seem to be having a cake and eating it here. What is faith? Does faith, as you stated earlier, require doubt? Or is faith at its most absolute in the absence of any doubt whatsoever? Is that still faith? This is the point, isn't it? Is it still faith if there is no doubt whatsoever? In your first clip, you're making the point that it wouldn't be faith anymore. And in the second clip, you seem to be making that it's the very acme of faith itself. So I'd be very interested to know what your position actually is on this, because I'm sure you can see that it doesn't really gel together, these two positions, as you've stated them in this video. Just to add to that, I'm just going to add this little bit in here. You are clearly, Michael, a Christian that does have some doubt and is prepared to question everything. But it does appear to me that there are Christians out there that do fulfill this requirement that you talk about having no doubt. In their minds, they are absolutely certain, absolutely 100% certain that what they believe is true. There is no shred of doubt in their minds. Now, I see that as a weakness. I think you see that as a weakness. But that's not the point. The point is this. They aren't able to move a mountain mountain any more than I'm able to move a mountain, any more than you're able to move a mountain. So this suggestion of yours that the reason we can't move a mountain is because we don't have this absolute faith, which on this part of the video is faith in the absence of doubt. There are people that fulfill those requirements. They're not moving mountains unless they happen to own a dynamite factory. So doesn't that really contradict the point you'd made as well? Okay, so that was something I disagreed with you on, Michael. Now something I agree with you on, which was your answer to Helgigh's first question, which was this burden of proof thing. Whilst I accept what Helgihg says, that in a technical sense the burden of proof is on somebody to prove the proposition, to prove the hypothesis, to evidence the theory, this is real life we're talking about here, where people already have pre-existing biases and positions that they hold, and to try and dissuade somebody of their position by blindly announcing to them that they have the burden of proof is never going to work. So it's a moot argument for him to make, and I don't really think it's worth going down that particular track, especially when so many people already are Christians, so many people already are Muslims. You're not going to convince anybody away from those by saying, well, it's up to you to prove this faith position you have is more than a faith position. But you know, the reason, and I know that me saying that will put me up against a lot of my atheist chums, as it were, but the reason atheists make that claim is because often when you discuss things with Christians, discuss things with Muslims, they start their arguments a priori assuming that God exists and that the Holy Book is true, and they argue from that point rather than arguing from a neutral point, which is the point you have to argue from if that's the question that's open to debate that you're discussing. Does God exist? Well, then you have to start from a neutral standpoint, surely. But they don't do that. They start from a standpoint that their God exists and has the character attributes that they assign to him, and then working from those attributes they seek to prove those attributes. Well, that's where people start using this thing about the burden of proof. That's why people start bringing this forward. But I accept the point you make in the context of this specific video response. Finally, I have a question to you then about proving Christianity, because this is my biggie. This is my big disproof of Christianity. It isn't to disprove Christianity directly, it's to disprove the soul. If you don't have an immaterial, immortal soul, then really you may as well go and stick Christianity back in the drawer, along with Islam, along with Judaism, along with just about every religion you can think of in actual fact, because nearly all of them require an immaterial, immortal soul to make any sense. There's nothing for God to punish, there's nothing for God to praise, there's nothing for God to appraise following our death, if all we are is an amalgam of materialistic processes, which maybe give some only quasi-materialistic sensations and ideas of music and ideas and things like that, but basically, fundamentally materialistic. I'm not going to outline my disproof of the soul. I've done that in another video. I'll link it up so that if you want to have a look at it, you can have a look at it. But surely that has to be the best argument against Christianity, because without actually disproving the specifics of Christianity itself, if there's no soul, there's nothing for any of this to hang on anymore. I'd be interested as to what you would think to that argument. Thank you for your video. Thank you for all your videos, Michael. I found them very, very interesting, even though your titles are too good. Bye for now.